me, Faizal MJ Suleman, this and every Saturday on Rise and Shine. Looking forward to gracing the airwaves of Radio Al Ansar from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. Rise and Shine.
أحب الوفاء بشتى الصور، أحب الوفي الأمين أغر، فأهل الوفاء كلون السحاب وحسن الربيع وماء المطر، أحب الوفاء بشتى
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والعاقبة للمتقين والصلاة والسلام على رسوله الكريم سيدنا محمد وآله وأصحابه أجمعين برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. All praise due to Allah, the Lord, cherisher, nourisher, sustainer and master of the universe, the most gracious, the most beneficent, the most merciful. Ya Allah, it is only you that we worship and is your guidance that we seek. Ya Allah, keep us on the straight path. Ya Allah, show us the richest of blessings. Ya Allah, show us your mercy. Ya Allah, guide us. Greetings, salams, salutations on our beloved Nabi Muhammad Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. 3 minutes past 8 on this beautiful Saturday morning, the 5th of October 2024, the 1st of Rabiul Thani 1446. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. And welcome to Rise and Shine on Radio Al Ansar. My name is Faizal MJ Suleman and I'll be your host for the next hour, inshallah ta'ala. Our engineer this morning is Brother Asfad Fidi. And yes, the program has been produced by Hajra Kota. Well, today is undoubtedly an absolutely beautiful day. And the trip to the studio has been quite an amazing one. And it was, whilst I was driving, I was just thinking that there's such a different mood today amongst everybody in the streets, the drivers, the pedestrians, etc. Everybody seems to be, I don't know if I can use the word hyperactive or hyper excited, I'm not sure. But be that it may, the mood has been an excellent one, undoubtedly, and that, of course, lifts your spirits. A WhatsApp message has come to them. I'm going to read immediately. It's a little dua, and I think it's apt for me to start with this. It's your dua. It says, your dua can change everything. Oh Allah, grant us strength and patience to face life's challenges. Guide us with your wisdom and protect us with your mercy. Keep our hearts steadfast in faith and our minds clear in adversity. Ameen. You are listening to Rise and Shine on Radio Al Ansar with myself, Faizal MJ Suleiman.
دار الجنان لها أمان والحياة سلام، وثيابها من لؤلؤ وقصورها جمال، وطيورها تجري على أشجار طيبها، أنهارها من عسل والمسك ريحها، هي جنة المؤمنين الخالدين بها، أبوابها عند القدوم ترحب أهلها، ادخلوها بسلام لا خوف ولا أحزان، هي جنات المؤمنين الخالدين فيها. Oh, what a life if I step into the gardens of paradise. Nothing like I've seen, better than my dreams, and no for the tears I've cried. Oh, I pray I'm shown my brand new home with the Prophet by my side. And for that with these I'd happily trade everything in my life. هي جنات المؤمنين الخالدين فيها.
We have a janazah notice. Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. The funeral notice of Apa Rabia Bibi Jinnah, ex-HOD of Varlam Islamic School and wife of Ahmad Jinnah, The mayat will be at 32 Evergreen Circle, Oaklands, Varlam. The pickup time is 12:30 today. The Janazah Salah will be at the Varlam Sunni Jamia Masjid after Zuhr Salah. And the burial shall be at the Varlam Muslim Cemetery. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant all marhumin forgiveness and Jannal Firdaus. Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un.
في خيرها. With every word I write, with every tear I cry, a whole world beyond the unknown. Ya Allah, please take me home.
Message from Sister Leila Mehta. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. To the blessed Ummah of Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Peace, blessings and salutations be upon Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Alhamdulillah for another blessed day as it glorifies some sujood. Show sympathy towards those people who show sympathy towards you. May the Ummah of Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wa sallam always be blessed. Ameen. May our remaining days be easy for us and our loved ones. Ameen. Have a blessed day and safe weekend. Salams and du'as, Sister Leila Mehta and family. And she goes on to say, inspiring reflections. I never ignore someone who cares for you, because someday you'll realize you've lost a diamond while you were busy collecting stones. And hadith says, Bismillahi walhamdulillahi wassalatu wassalam ala rasulillah. The Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, between a man in disbelief and paganism is the abandonment of salah, prayer. That comes from Muslim. Jazakallah khair for that beautiful message, Sister Leila Mehta. And message comes from Brother Yusuf Patel. Seniors are a work of art, a lifetime of wisdom and knowledge. Every wrinkle line yearning a story to tell. No subscription or fees to pay, but a lifetime of experience and pain to share. If you will but lend me your ears, know that when an elderly dies, a library is lost, and volumes of wisdom and knowledge are gone. Too often we don't realize what we have until it's gone. Too often we wait for too long to say, I am sorry, I was wrong, I should have respected your lines and listened to your songs. Salams and du'as. Yusuf Patel, make du'as. War drums are louder now than ever before. A second message comes, it says, from Yusuf Patel as well. It's amazing, the more closer you are to Allah, the more your heart is at rest. Don't show everyone your wounds. Not everyone is holding a bandage or a band-aid. Some are with salt and vinegar to increase the pain. Finally, know that challenges are what make life interesting. Overcoming them is what makes life meaningful. Salams and du'as, Yusuf Patel.
कब जाके मैं देखूंगा दरबार वो शाहाना दरबार मदीने में जाए मेरा जान
Trusting Allah in difficult times, in the face of seemingly overwhelming challenges, it's easy to feel overwhelmed and lost. Let's listen to this clip by Yasmin Mujahid.
I don't see the solution. I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, but I do know one thing for sure, and that is Inna ma'ya Rabbi sayahdin. Indeed, my Lord is with me and he will guide me through. And when we have that kind of attitude, Allah promises something, that he will split seas for us. That situations that look impossible, Allah will make a way out. That situations where we don't see a solution, Allah will give us a solution from places we never imagined. وَمَن يَتَّقِ اللَّهَ يَجْعَلْ لَهُ مَخْرَجًا وَيَرْزُقُهُ مِنْ حَيْثُ لَا يَحْتَسِبُ. Whoever puts Allah first, taqwa, whoever has God consciousness, whoever focuses on Allah first, whoever guards themselves from the wrath of Allah, who makes Allah first, Allah will make a way out for them. And he will provide for them from places they never imagined. Have you guys ever been in a situation that looked hopeless before? Have you ever been in a situation that you couldn't see a way out? Have you ever felt trapped? See, Musa alayhi salam was put in this situation. Many of us, obviously, none of us are probably going to ever be stuck in front of a giant body of water with a giant superpower army behind us, right? But then why is Allah telling us this story if it's not relevant? We won't be necessarily in front of the Red Sea, but we will be in situations where we feel trapped. We will be in situations that look hopeless. We will be put in situations that we don't see a solution. And we think, okay, what am I going to do? And when we are put in that situation, Allah is teaching us how to see through. So Bani Israel is seeing the Red Sea and is seeing the army, and that is where their focus is. You know, when you're in a situation and if you focus on the problem itself, that's all you're going to see. If you focus on the barrier itself, if you focus on the obstacle itself, that's all you're going to see. And it becomes bigger and bigger and bigger in your eyes. It actually starts to grow. You know, it's this amazing thing about the psychology of a human being. If you focus, I want you to imagine for a second, there's a wall in front of you. The more you focus on that wall, the more it gets bigger. The more you focus on the wall, the higher it gets, the bigger it gets, until it actually surrounds you. And you will see no way out. And the reason why, by the way, that's an illusion. It's an illusion. The reason that it looks that way is because you're focusing on the barrier. You're focusing on the block. You're not focusing on Allah. You're focusing on the barrier itself. And so the barrier looks bigger and bigger. And that's exactly what Bani Israel did. They were focusing on the Red Sea. They were focusing on the army. And so they were hopeless. They felt very afraid. They were scared. And it had to do with the focus of the heart. Are you focused on the block? Are you focused on the barrier? Or are you focused on something else? Now, what's so powerful is you see the comparison, the contrast of Musa alayhi salam's focus and then his response. قَالَ كَلَّا. He said, nope. Kalla is like a very emphatic no way. No, nope. They said, we will surely be overtaken. He said, no. And why is it that Musa alayhi salam said no? Why was he so certain? Why was he so sure? Was it because he's really strong? Is it because, oh, guys, don't worry, I got this. He didn't say that. He didn't say, I have this nifty staff, He wasn't in the habit of splitting seas. This didn't really happen every day. It's not like he knew what was going to get him out of this situation. He had no idea. It's not like he knew how he was going to get out. And yet he was certain that Allah would get him out. Why? Because Musa alayhi salam wasn't focused on the barrier. Musa alayhi salam wasn't focused on the obstacle and the block. He was focused on Allah. And he knew, Inna ma'ya rabbi sayahdin. He said, by no means will we be overtaken. Why? Because indeed my Lord is with me and he will get me through this. That's all he needed. All he needed to do was see Allah in this situation. All he needed to do was shift the focus of his heart, shift the focus from the block, from the barrier, from the obstacle, from the problem to Allah. And all of a sudden, literally Allah opened the sea for him. And that is because he had the proper focus and he knew and he put his trust in Allah and he said that my Lord is with me and he will guide me through. And that's exactly what Allah did. It's very easy to put our reliance on Allah when we see the way out, when we know already the solution. It's easy to be like, yeah, put my trust in Allah, but here's the plan. It's like, this is going to happen, this is going to happen. And we already have the whole thing planned out. We know exactly what's going to happen. And then we say our trust in Allah, right? That's pretty easy. But what's really hard is when we have no idea what's going to happen. What's really hard is when there's complete uncertainty. What's really hard is when we have no idea how Allah is going to get us out. We have no idea how the solution is going to come. We have actually no idea what's going to happen after we take this step. It's an unknown. It's the unseen. But that's what tawakkul is.
Okay, that was a clip, my apologies, a clip by Yasmin Mujahid. And of course, that was on trusting Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in difficult times. Another WhatsApp message has come through. It says, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Sabahul khair, my dua, pray for my family and friends. I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to take away any illnesses, sadness, and depression. Watch over and protect all of us. Bring tranquility where there is chaos and bring light where there is darkness. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala place love in our hearts for Him and for one another. Oh Allah, show us blessings from where we do not expect. May you have a peaceful and blessed time always, inshallah. Ameen. Wishing you a very happy day. And this comes from brother Suleman. There's a message from sister Ruqayya as well. And okay, I'll read that. I will read that message right now. Okay, the message from sister Ruqayya. It says, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, my brother Faizal and the Rise and Shine team. People who uplift are the best kind of people. You don't simply keep them up, you have to treasure them. Before you assume, learn the facts. Before you judge, understand why. Before you hurt someone, think how they will feel. Before you speak, think. Guard your tongue. It can work for you or against you. Rather, let silence be your reply. It says, I'm smiling not because I'm stronger than my problem, and I'm smiling because may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is stronger than my problems. Ameen. The best thing you can give someone is du'as. Ameen. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala aap aur aapki family ko hamesha khush aur salamat rakhe. Inshallah. Ameen. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless you, my brother Faizal, and your family, and the entire ummah of Nabi Kareem sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Ameen. Ameen. Thumma ameen. And this comes from Sister Ruqayya. Jazakallah khair for that beautiful message. Time for us to visit the marketplace. We'll continue after this, inshallah.
Radio Al Ansar, Durban, 90.4 FM. Pietermaritzburg, 105.6 FM.
Your journey starts here. Embrace an unforgettable adventure through magical Pakistan departing October 15. Visit the Badshahi Mosque in Lahore, the gardens of Islamabad. Experience the natural beauty of Skardu and the clear blue Attabad Lake of Hanza. Flights, transfers, visas, 4-star accommodation, daily breakfast, dinner, and guided city tours. Call 031-001-7062 or visit 55 Problem Kiza Road, Durban. World View Travel. Travel with Nazir Malik brings you a fully guided 11-night Umrah package from just 17,999 Rand. 17,999 Rand per person sharing. Departing 5th November. Package includes Jumain, Makkah and Medina, airfare, ex-Johannesburg, visa, round-trip transfers and ziyarats. Call Nazir Malik on 031-207-4977 or WhatsApp 082-497-8688. Travel with Nazir Malik, making your dreams possible.
As promised at last year's Durban Summer Cirque, part of our profits will go to making a real difference in our community. The Al Ansar Foundation proudly completed its first borehole for the community of Redcliffe. With water shortages affecting many, our mission is clear. Let's bring clean water to more areas in need. Join us in making an impact. Call outreach on 031-208-1601 or visit alansar.org.za to help build more boreholes and transform lives.
Iqra wafham. Read and understand the Holy Quran. Your program giving you the most powerful manual for life. It's the message from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala through the Last Testament. The ayahs are recited, translated and explained for us to understand by various learned scholars of Islam. Comes to you every Sunday at 8 p.m. and Fridays at 10:30 p.m. Iqra wafham. Read and understand.
Radio Al Ansar, 24/7, 365.
You're listening to Rise and Shine on Radio Al Ansar with myself, Faizal MJ Suleman. Breast cancer, the most prevalent cancer among South African women, is increasingly being detected in women under 40. This trend mirrors global patterns where younger women are being diagnosed with more aggressive forms of the disease, underscoring the need for early detection and awareness. We say good morning to our special guest, Dr. Eugene Uster, who is a member of the Breast Imaging Society of South Africa. Dr. Uster, good morning to you and thank you for joining me on the program this morning.
Good morning. Thank you for the opportunity.
You're most welcome. Dr. Yusuf, can you elaborate on why early detection is particularly critical for younger women diagnosed with breast cancer?
As we are all aware of breast cancer on the rise, and also now, as we indicate, being diagnosed in an earlier, younger age group, the importance there is that it's actually unexpected. So if one don't think about breast cancer and you don't do something urgently about a lump that you have discovered in your breast, it can linger and it can stay and grow and become bigger than necessary, if I can use that word, because early detection is the way to manage breast cancer and finding the changes. So it's about awareness. And I think that once the younger generation are alerted to the findings that are associated with cancer, it can make a difference.
Now, are there any emerging factors or trends that women should be particularly aware of?
I think from emerging options that are to be considered during the management and the diagnosis of cancer is the imaging modalities that we have at our units where one can examine breast cancer. So from an initial point of view, I think important to do self-examination. Patients need to get aware of their breast textures and understand what it feels like. Regular breast self-examination is a mainstay of detecting cancer. Regular specialist evaluation, regular yearly evaluation by an experienced clinician. And then, if indicated, the ultrasound studies, as I indicate, in the younger people. We try and start with ultrasound studies in the under 40s, and over 40 mammography would be the mainstay.
So what age would you think it is appropriate for a lady to start taking these tests?
I think from a personal point of view, any patient should be able to access their breasts on a monthly basis. So that can start as soon as breasts have developed. Let's say by the 20s, the breasts have stabilized, and the textures and the cycles affecting the breasts would be known to the patient if she does a regular examination. But from an imaging point of view, I believe at 35 would be a good time to start young breasts for ultrasounds. And if indicated, other more sensitive studies can be done depending on her risk factors.
And, I know you mentioned, the presence of lumps, etc. But are there any other symptoms that our young ladies should look out for?
Yes, the skin surrounding the breasts are sometimes a telltale sign of changes happening in the breasts. We're thinking of feathering or dimpling or changes in contour of the breasts, which you can observe in the mirror. And of course, the nipple and the areola are also structures that can be affected by internal changes, such as lumps growing or changes happening in the breast that would invert a nipple and pull it into the breast.
Now, are there any recent advances in breast cancer treatment that you believe are particularly promising for young women with aggressive forms of the disease?
I think that would be more on an oncological treatment side. I think for the patients who need to know more about treatment, we could also understand from an oncological point of view that research in breast cancer is on the forefront to discover new techniques and new ways to treat cancers. One must understand that one cancer is not a one-size-fits-all. Each cancer is individually structured, growing from inside the body. So the individual characteristics of a cancer should also be ascertained, and that is being assessed further along scientific pathways. So there's always some new changes which would be established, and once they have been proven to make a difference.
Now, Dr. Yusuf, what are some common myths about breast cancer that you frequently encounter, and how can we address them?
I think, excuse me, I think the fear of breast cancer as a death sentence is generally easily addressed. Not all breast cancers are going to result in the death of a patient. Early diagnosis would actually make such fears something of the past, because treatment can be in such a manner that the cancer can be removed from the body and suppressed by treatments. But other fears that we as radiologists encounter are the fear of radiation exposure. I think mammography has been feared by many patients because of discomfort, and also some people say it can cause cancer. The compression is uncomfortable for some people, and they are worried about that. There are also concerns about biopsies being performed on breasts and either aggravating or spreading cancer. None of those fears are true. We've done enough, millions and millions of tests over the years all over the world, and it's not been proven to be a problem. I think from an older patient point of view, also remember that HRT, the hormonal replacement therapy that one can do, is also not something that is specifically to be feared. There are so many benefits from HRT, and if it's prescribed in a controlled fashion, it is not a drug that will cause breast cancer. There is an association with breast cancer, but it's not a causative factor.
Now, family plays a huge role in assisting those that have been diagnosed. What advice would you give to family members of women diagnosed with breast cancer in terms of support and understanding the disease?
Yes, I think very important that everybody is upfront and shares the information. I think a patient must not be diagnosed in isolation. She must not receive a treatment in isolation, and the support from family members and understanding from family members is critical in getting through the initial months, initial year or so of treatment. Stigmas for such diseases do exist, but I think with current ability to have information shared regarding cancers, such as what we are doing this month, the uncertainty and the fear of cancer should be alleviated and reduced. So be supportive. I think ask your questions. And remember, in the first week or two or month of a diagnosis of cancer, the patient and its immediate family will very seldom remember everything that is said. So keep asking the questions. Have somebody with you when you are diagnosed with cancer so that they can remember what the doctors said, so that there's no misunderstanding regarding what options are available. So it's a team effort. I think the family plays a vital role.
Thank you for that, Dr. Yusta. I want to thank you for joining me on the program this morning. But before you leave us, Dr. Yusta, is there a message for our listeners?
Yes, I think remain positive. Breast cancer is a diagnosis that affects so many of us, not just women, but also men. And as cancer affects other parts of the body as well, other cancers, it's one of the parts of life that we can be addressed with. There are lifestyle factors like hypertension and diabetes and diseases that one can affect, but there are certain things that we have no control over. And one of them would be a cancer diagnosis. But be positive, listen to the messages that the media conveys, be part of the community that supports patients, and survivors can share their good news. So again, team effort and work together on this. I think that is my positive message for breast cancer this month.
Dr. Eugene Yusta, thank you very much for joining me in the program this morning, and thank you for the message that you've shared with us. Enjoy the rest of the day and the weekend. All the best to you, sir.
Thank you for the opportunity.
We spoke to Dr. Eugene Yusta, and he spoke to us about breast cancer. And Dr. Yusta is a member of the Breast Imaging Society of South Africa. Breast cancer is on the rise in younger South African females, and I think we should take cognizance of the doctor's advice in that we should get ourselves tested, we should do the necessary, and of course, inshallah ta'ala, we can take care of this condition as long as it is detected in the early stages. Message comes to us from Mrs. Rahman, says, Assalamu alaikum, Faizal. Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. A France 2024 correspondent said that the war between the Israelis and Hamas did not start on the 7th of October 2023. They first attacked the Palestinians in 1948. She then named all the years when they attacked the Palestinians and what they did to them. The Israelis must stop what they are doing. The Palestinians are innocent. Have a good weekend. And this comes from Mrs. Rahman. Okay, we've got the other message. Okay, they're just thanking us for a clip that we sent over to them. Let's take a little ad break.
جمعية القرآن جمعية القرآن جمعية القرآن
Is your car in need of repairs or some TLC?
At Sham Panel Beaters, we take pride in providing top-notch service for over 40 years.
Conveniently located at 140 Felix Lamini Road, Overport, Durban, we specialize in repairs for both insurance claims and cash jobs.
Enjoy a free diagnostic test, polish, mini valet with every guaranteed repair.
We treat your pride and joy as our own and are approved by all major insurance companies and brokers.
Sham Panel Beaters is also an AA and RMI accredited repairer.
Trust us with your vehicle today.
Come get our butcher's best for less at Checkers Foods Cowie Park. Enjoy certified halal butchery products like chicken breast fillets, just $64.99 per kg, Dania sausages, just $99.99 per kg, and half a lamb, just $89.99 per kilo. Deals valid from Thursday, October 3rd until Sunday, October 6th. Only at Checkers Foods Cowie Park, now certified by the NIHT, the National Independent Halal Trust, across our butchery, bakery, and deli.
You've played it previously.
Ladies and gentlemen,
pop up the volume.
The Breakfast Rush brain squeeze.
You're on 4 out of 5. One more correct answer, and you win. Incorrect answer. If you said Henry the Eighth. Jazakallah for your call. Have yourself an amazing day. How are we going to explain that on there?
It's back on the Breakfast Rush.
Verily, every soul shall taste death. Prepare yourself for the inevitable. Join the Al-Ansar Foundation for our annual Ladies Ghusl Workshop on Saturday, the 26th of October, from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Seats are limited, so don't delay. Register now by calling 031-208-1601. Save the date, 24th October, Al-Ansar Conference. Secure your spot and ensure you are prepared for life's final journey.
Ladies, are you concerned about your health and well-being? Then the Al-Ansar Cancer Support Group's annual Cancer Awareness and Chai Day is for you. Dynamic speakers, health and wellness exhibition, and awesome tea garden. Lucky draws, free blood pressure and sugar checks, free entry. Join us on Saturday, 12 October 2024 at the Al-Ansar Conference Center, 207 West Road in Overport, from 9 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. Let's unite to fight cancer's might. For inquiries, contact Rabina Parak on 082-786-8815 or Zora Jadwat on 08222-03131.
This and only this is Nightline. Nightline is the only program that allows you to listen to the opportunity to voice your opinion on any matter or any topic that concerns you. Also on Nightline, we interview the famous, the not so famous, and infamous. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My name is Brother Muhammad Variawa, and with me in the studio is Dr. Anwar Jiwa. Join us every Saturday night from 8:30 p.m. till 10:30 p.m. on Nightline, the program designed especially for you, the listener.
Getting you through your day. Radio Al-Ansar.
يا غزة الأحرار ثوري
25 minutes to 9 on this beautiful Saturday morning. You listen to Rise and Shine on Radio Al-Ansar with myself, Faizal MJ Suleman. Now, the scale of Israel's ground and aerial assault on Lebanon is sending panic through the capital. People are trying to stock up on essentials, but even that is a luxury to the thousands living on the streets in what could become the largest displacement crisis in the country's history. Let's listen to this audio clip.
The Israeli army released these videos of its soldiers preparing for a ground raid into Lebanon. A short while later, they say they went in what would be Israel's fourth invasion of the sovereign state of Lebanon, its last incursion being in 2006. It's a claim Hezbollah disputes, but one that was enough to instill more fear in an already panicked population. But there are few options available to the mounting number trying to leave.
No flight available, So before, let's say right now, like we are the 1st of October, before 15th of October, there is no available flight out of Beirut.
At the Syrian border, thousands are fleeing every day. The trip takes time and is growingly risky due to recent airstrikes. Taxis from Beirut can cost more than $500 for a family of 4. Some travel companies are even offering buses through Syria to Jordan. The journey is long, but the demand is high.
On the first day, I got more than 100 calls. And the first day, we booked more than 50 people. They need to travel. And daily, we are getting more and more and more and more.
But for many in Lebanon, the economic crisis means leaving isn't an option. At grocery stores, there are signs of people stocking up on essentials.
Very big numbers in purchases, such as instant noodles, such as Indomie especially. Bread, for example, the days where they had the airstrikes at Dahye, the bread was like gone in minutes. People are getting a lot of canned food more.
But even stocking up is a luxury to some, particularly the thousands living on the street in the face of what Lebanon's prime minister has said could be the largest displacement crisis in the country's history, with 1 million people living in limbo, including the family of 5 now living in their van after having been displaced from the southern suburbs on Friday.
I have no battery in my phone and I can't shower. I just wash with water from the sea. It's been 3 days that we're living in the van. Good people are distributing food for us.
The scale of need here in Lebanon ranges. Some people are desperate for a ticket out, others only for a can of tuna. The common thread is that everybody believes that this war is going to take time and know that the only way through it is going to be together. Priyanka Davani, TRT World in Beirut.
على الفجار
Due to negative health implications of ultra-processed foods, some experts are urging the government to be proactive in safeguarding against foods such as these. Recently, the World Health Organization ranked South Africa amongst the nations with the highest levels of obesity. We have online with us Dr. Mvuyusi Mzukwa, from the South African Medical Association. He's the chairperson, and Dr. Mzukwa will be discussing this concept with us. Good morning to you, Dr. Mzukwa, and thank you for joining me on the program this morning.
Good morning to you and good morning to your listeners, and thanks for the opportunity.
Absolute pleasure, sir. What are some of the most concerning health implications of consuming ultra-processed foods that you believe the public should be aware of?
I think we need to define what these ultra-processed foods are, because it's a descriptor of unhealthy foods. So when we talk about it, we're talking about these are the ready-to-eat foods, products such as, chips, microwavable dinners, deli meat, burgers, pizzas, cakes, scones, ice creams, you mentioned them. So those, I think we need to start from this so that people understand where we're coming from. But some of the challenges that are facing the country, one, it is the burden of the communicable diseases that we see. But what is more pressing is the premature deaths that are caused by this, the cardiovascular diseases like hypertension, heart attacks, and all these other things, but also development of diabetes mellitus, whether it's the children or the elderly, because we can actually see now that younger people are getting diabetes. But there's a problem of obesity, problem of sleep disorders, and also the issue of mental health disorders that are affecting communities because of ultra-processed foods. But also there are other associations that I think we need to mention, especially in children. It's also associated with a rise in asthma, And also there's a problem of gastrointestinal diseases. In other words, diseases of the stomach and the contents in there. And some cancers are associated with these ultra-processed foods.
Mhm. Now, what specific actions do you think the government should take to address the rising consumption of ultra-processed foods in South Africa?
Well, I think government is there to regulate, is there to develop, policies that are directed to these challenges that we face in the country. But what we feel now is the problem is that even we do need to strengthen policies on food processing and storage, and that would talk to these foods that are processed at an industrial scale. Like those that you would find in those prominent franchises, for example. I won't mention them by name.
Obviously, yes.
But there also should be policies on ingredients, especially that talks to the how that food is constituted, like in terms of the ingredients. There would be fats, saturated fats, also lots of salt that is in there. Also the regulation in the schools, where this food is brought to children in schools in terms of the tech shops. I think the schools needs to be regulated. Those tech shops in the schools need to be guided as to what should they be selling to children in the schools.
I think that is absolutely important, because it's where the children where it starts. So if we can ensure children can eat healthy, they can grow up into eating healthy as well. And I think, Doctor, the cooperation of parents is vital in this, because I know for a fact many school tuck shops try to keep these healthy foods and stay away from the ultra processed, etc. And there was huge outcry from parents. My son wants this and my daughter wants that, etc. And you're going to keep it. So I think it's important. The awareness that we are creating is vital, and people need to take cognizance of it. Now, Dr. Mzuka, what are the potential long-term impacts of ultra processed foods on children's health, and how can parents help mitigate these risks?
Well, like I said before, with children, you may find that they're becoming obese, because it's not only that they get this ultra-processed food. You find that also they are not involved in the sporting activities at school, but also when they're at home, they are not doing anything. They are watching TV. They are playing online games. So they don't have time to be active, to be taking out those calories. But what I think it needs to be done, or other conditions may lead to earlier development of, these issues that we talked about, like diabetes. We're seeing younger diabetes now, not only type 1, but also type 2. But we also see problems of the joints, because when you are overweight, you tend to work your joints more than they should accommodate. And that causes problems with development of chronic conditions like arthritis earlier in your stage of life. And also, we do think that there should be a strong advocacy voice on dealing with these ultra processed foods, but also the issue of community education in terms of health literacy. I think what we have seen now, we've seen lots of advertisement, but we see less of education, community education, in terms of, how should they assess the food that they eat? Because these days you need to assess what you are eating. Otherwise, it could be, coming against you, whether short term or long term. So those are the important things that communities should be aware of, and also being assisted by government and these advocacy voices that I spoke about.
Now, looking ahead, what changes would you like to see in South Africa regarding food policies and public health to combat obesity and related diseases?
I think in South Africa, we've got a strong, we tend to be strong on policies, but we're not strong on implementation of those policies. I think what needs to be seen now is stronger implementation and also making sure that there's enough resources to do that. In terms of the inspectors, we need to see more inspectors going into the tech shops, in schools, going to the big corporates, that are franchises who are selling this, just to making sure that they are adhering to what is in the policies. Like I said, we do need also to look at our spatial planning. We need to accommodate, our urban areas, rural areas, as townships, to be able to. People must be able to exercise. We find that we've got roads, streets that don't accommodate, people to exercise. I think that needs to be changed if we want to lessen the burden of the healthcare costs, to government.
Mhm. Dr. Mvisi Mzuka, I want to thank you for joining the program this morning and sharing those, sharing that information with us. I'm sure you have a message for our listeners, sir.
Yes, I do have a message, and my message to the listeners is that we need to cut down on ultra-processed foods, because they are a great danger to us and to our health. If you have not, but the ultimate goal is to do away with them, so that we don't have a problem where you find that one day you've got cancer, one day you've got diabetes, and it's something that has been coming along when you are buying these foods, over time.
So thank you very much for joining me on the program this morning, and have an amazing day, and thank you once again.
Thanks a lot. Have a lovely day too.
Thank you. We spoke to Dr. Mvisi Mzukwa, the chairperson of the South African Medical Association, and he spoke to us about the consumption of ultra-processed foods and the effects, that they have on us, and the long-term effects as well. Time for us to take a short break. We'll continue on the other side of this, inshallah.
نور على مر الزمان تألقا وأضاء للدنيا طريقا مشرقا وهدى من الرحمن يهدينا به للصالحات وللمكارم والتقى نور على مر الزمان تألقا وأضاء.
Are you or a loved one battling the disease of addiction? Is your family, life, relationships, work suffering due to alcoholism and substance abuse? Zensai Treatment, Recovery and Wellness Center are addiction specialists offering specialized psychotherapy and naltrexone therapy to help overcome addiction. Zensai offers hotel-style facilities to allow your loved ones to regain their dignity and overcome alcoholism and drug abuse in the most comfortable setting possible. Fight addiction. Call Zensai Treatment, Recovery and Wellness Center, the addiction recovery specialist, on 031 563 0751.
The Sunday Westville Village Market is back, and we're excited to rock this October 6th at 123 Jan Hofmeyer Road between 10 a.m. and 5 p.m. Indulge in delicious array of breakfast, brunch, lunch, or even an early dinner. There's something for everyone, with horseback riding, kiddies entertainment, shopping extravaganza for the parents, and giveaways, and more giveaways. Woohoo! Located opposite Westville Boys Eye and next to the Sufi Masjid, so you never miss a salah. Mark your calendars this October 6th at the Westville Village Market. See you there.
Spend 400 rands or more to win with Checkers Foods Kawi Park and Radio Al Ansar. You could be one of 8 weekly winners of a Philips 6.2-liter air fryer or a Weber Bryce stand valued at over 2,000 rand. Hop into Checkers Foods Kawi Park, shop, drop your till slip into the entry box, and wait for your name to be announced on air. That's it. Checkers Foods Kawi Park, certified by the NIHT, the National Independent Halal Trust, across the butchery, bakery, and deli. T's and C's apply.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ادعوا إلى سبيل ربك بالحكمة وموعظة الحسنة وجادلهم بالتي هي أحسن.
Invite all to the way of thy Lord with wisdom and beautiful preaching, and reason with them in the ways that are best and most gracious. Join Shabir Pasha every Saturday 7 p.m. for Dawah Dynamic Show.
Radio Al Ansar, 24/7, 365.
निज चढ़ कुरान सुनाया कलमा हुसैन 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 कलमा हुसैन बचा तेरे सदके में आका सारे जहां को दीन मिला बेदीनों ने कलमा पढ़ा वो जो बिलाले हबशी है दरबदरी के प्यारे हैं दुनिया के हर आशिक की आंखों के वो तारे हैं आंखों के वो तारे हैं जुल्म हुए कितने
Rise and shine on Radio Lansar, and here's what 100 Rand could buy you in 1980 versus today. In South Africa, inflation has surged by nearly 4,000% since 1980, with recent food prices reflecting significant increases. In the 1980s, inflation peaked at 19.7%, contrasting sharply with the 4.6% recorded in July 2024, the lowest level since July 2021. Factors like the COVID-19 pandemic and the ongoing effects of the Ukrainian war have impacted prices, particularly for essential goods. Statistics South Africa data indicates that 100 Rand in 1980 would equate to about 3,950 Rand today, highlighting a staggering inflation rate of 3,850%. While some food items such as potatoes and green peppers have seen price increases, others like onions and rice have decreased. Economist Annabel Bishop forecasts that inflation may remain within the Reserve Bank's target range of 3% to 6%, but food prices are expected to stay volatile, posing ongoing challenges for South African consumers. 060-904-1056. If you have any inspirational message you want to share with our listeners, please forward them to us. I've got a message that's come through, and it says that dua for the day. O my Rabb, grant me the ability of being grateful to you for the bounties you have showered upon me and my parents, and grant me the ability to do those deeds which will please you and reform my offspring. It goes on to say, thought for the day, the best way to have righteous children is to be righteous parents. You can't teach what you don't do or know for that matter. It says, forgiving someone isn't just about doing good on another, it's also about healing a scar in your own heart. And I would say Jazakallah khair for that message as well. Another message comes through, says, quote for the day. I like that one. Like the cold winds and falling snow, life has its seasons of stillness and struggle. But just as snow blankets the earth in silence, it's in those quiet, challenging moments that we find strength, preparing us for the warmth and growth that follows. Thank you for that message as well. And of course, another inspirational message has come through, says that patience is the companion of wisdom. Often we find it a challenge to be patient, but when we exercise patience, it helps us to endure the tribulations we face in life. We don't know how many closed doors the Almighty will show us before we are granted ease. The key is to have faith and know that difficult times don't last. Showing courage and determination when faced with adversity is a true testament to character and strength. Always know that Allah is by your side and will answer your prayers. Stay focused and true to your convictions. May we all be rewarded with that which we seek and do good to ourselves and others always. A message that comes through again says, everyone is jealous of what you've got, but no one is jealous of how you got it. If people are doing well in life, do not try to pull them down and belittle them. Rather, try to be happy for them. Support each other in whatever they possibly and genuinely want the best for one another. Always remember, if you can't help someone, then at least do not harm them. When you hate someone, they don't feel it, only you do. It affects only your own heart until your heart hardens and your vision narrows and life loses its joy. Let go of the negativity. You will feel a lot better and at peace. Let us try to replace hatred with kindness and love.
يا رجائي يا رجائي يا رجائي يا رجائي يا رجائي يا رجائي رباه عفوك إني للنور مدت يداي نزعت أسرار قلبي وجئت ألقي أسايا رباه عفوك إني للنور مدت يداي نزعت أسرار قلبي وجئت ألقي أسايا أشتكي طي صدري دربا سحيق العطايا به بدأت ولكن لم أدري ما منتهايا أدري أسري فيه ولا عرفت هدايا ولا عرفت ظلامي
I've got a message that's come through from one of our listeners, Brother M.H. Osman says that my rent in 1987 was 120 rand per month, which included lights and water. Alhamdulillah. I mean, that's a dream for all of us these days. A quick message that comes through says that, remember, life changes so quickly. We can be happy one day, empty and broken the next. If we learn anything, it is to value the moments, treasure the memories, and hold on to what counts. We never know how the next story in our life will end, but as long as it lasts, value every moment and every second. Make time each day to realize how short life is and to thank the Almighty Allah for each blessing. Slow down, appreciate what we have and how quickly it can be gone. Life is but an hour, live it in obedience. Please remember Palestine and the rest of the world and all people going through difficulties and the sick in your prayers. Time for me to round up. Okay, okay, there's a message that comes through which I think it is yeah, it's just giving us a quick message. It says it comes from Brother Harun Patel. Salams to one and all. I have received a call a short while ago from a foreign number asking if I would like to join a zikr group for Palestine. They sent me a 6-digit code, verification code, and asked me to click on the code. Thankfully, I did not do it and cut the call. They called a few times after that and I declined the call. Call comes on WhatsApp with the name Ibrahim. They tried hacking my phone, but they were denied because I did not accept the code. Dear people, this is a scam using our beloved Palestine. Please decline this call. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala keep us alive. Jazakallah khair for that, Brother Harun Patel. Time for me to round up. Thank you, Asfat Piri for having engineered and Haj Dakota for having, produced a program. You're going to be joining Tabila Juma for the news and thereafter Kelly Ramzani for Career Compass. For myself, Faizal MJ Suleman. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
करे जारी कब आओ मदीने में कब आए मेरी बारी कब जाके मैं देखूंगा दरबार वो शाहाना दरबार मदीने में आका हो जाए मेरा जान आका
Ansar, 24/7, 365.
An informative Islamic global perspective. This is Al Ansar News.
Making news at Annan, one person has been killed in a head-on collision between KZN and the Free State. Good morning, I'm Tabi.